and money is the fruit that they speak. So tell me whose face do they seek? Repeat, take offense, judge by the fruit from the tree. But if the fruit tastes like the streets, and money is the fruit that they seek.
Welcome back, DJ Focus, Dice Gamble. You tap back into the Fixx, your source of faith-infused hip-hop, R&B, and poetry. And it's time for our spiritual detox. And listen, y'all are in for a treat today when I tell you we in a good place. Gospel music is in a good place. We talk about all the different options we have in gospel music, and the gospel community being able to embrace some of the urban gospel, some of the soulful gospel. And when I tell you our guests we got on today, listen, if you ain't looking for that good R&B Motown type style singing, you might as well get out his way. I'm excited to talk with him. Help me welcome in a singer, songwriter, a super talented artist, Gene Moore. What's going on, bro?
What's up, man?
Oh, it's all good. How you?
Man, I'm feeling good, bro. I'm enjoying this Cleveland breeze, bro. It's a lot better than what we what we experiencing in Houston, Texas, man. It's like hot.
Yeah, y'all at the hundreds in Houston, ain't
y'all?
Ooh,
man, plus that humidity, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah. We the beautiful thing about Cleveland, we only get probably one hot month. The rest of the time is pretty much cool. And this month usually is the hottest month. Listen, I'm excited, man, to talk with you, man. For those who may not know you, first, speak a little bit to your faith journey, your faith walk, how you develop your own personal relationship with Christ.
Yeah, well, man, my dad's a pastor. My mom, God bless her soul, she passed away this year. But she was in the she was. Thank you. She was in the mission, in the ministry as well. And so I grew up as a church kid, went to college, man. I pledged, so that was around the time, when I was kind of going through my fun. Yeah, had a little fun.
Hold on, don't skip that. Let's talk about that. PK, go to college, you pledged. Come on, talk about that fun.
Yeah, man. Well, I'll put it this way, man. If I talked about that fun on the air, y'all would be like, "Oh, he a PK for real?"
No. I want you to talk about that because I think we don't hear enough of the testimonies of what God will do, even when you have to come back to the faith.
Yeah.
It's okay. You talking to somebody who ran the streets.
Oh,
I ran the streets at a high level. So that's why I do want you to highlight a little bit of maybe you walked away a little bit and had to come back and find your way a little bit.
Yeah, man. Around that time, I was trying to prove to myself and others that I'm not going in my dad's footsteps. So, man, I was out partying, out drinking, just acting crazy, man, just doing what a typical 18, 19-year-old does, around that time. But I would say around the age of 23, that was when, I started settling down and I started getting a little more focused on what I wanted to do with my life. So, I graduated from college and with a degree in radio and television, and my minor was in advertising. And so I started working for a radio station. Now, I always sung, but singing was more so a hobby, so I would go out on the weekends, I would sing with different people, make my money, but then, I would go back to my regular job. Long story short, man, some things just started happening. God just had, other plans for me. And so I started getting more and more calls on the music side and less and less opportunities over on the side of that I got my degree in, so ultimately I went into music and here I am, bro. I got signed to Motown Gospel in 2013. I put out 3 records, before I even signed as a solo artist, man. I was singing with Kirk Franklin for 7 years. I was singing with Israel Houghton. I started singing with Kim Burrell when I was around 19 years old. So yeah, man, I've had a pretty colorful journey, bro. And so here I am, bro, and real quick, man, here's what's crazy. When you submit to the will of God, man, he has a way of bringing everything back around for you full circle. So now not only am I in music, but I'm back doing radio, because I got a radio show in Houston. So, I'm able to do what I love to do, bro.
No, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
And I love the way you just talked about those legends. Like, you got the chance to sing with them legends like that was like regular. Talk about that experience. You brought up 3 different legends in the gospel game. Talk about your experience of just working with them, singing background or writing music with them or whatever you were doing with them.
Right. Well, you know what? My experience with Kim Burrell, I was just like in awe. I always grew up listening to her. And so, vocally, she, in my opinion, she is one of the undisputed. You know what I mean? So, I learned a lot from her vocally and then singing with Israel Houghton. Israel Houghton is a consummate professional, bro. So, I learned a lot of things about, just stage etiquette and, timeliness and presentation and knowing how to engage, when I'm on stage. And then Kirk Franklin is Kirk Franklin. One of the great things that I learned from Kirk Franklin, and it's so many different things that I learned, but one thing that really, really stuck with me is his ability to press forward even when the circumstances are like crazy. Quick story. I remember, I think we were in Sweden one time and the electricity in the entire arena went out, bro.
Wow.
So he had to improvise. So he jumped on the piano and he started having everybody to sing with him. And so, he taught me that as a professional, you have to learn how to think quick on your feet. You can't let the people see you sweat, man. So yeah, it was so many different things that I picked up from so many different artists. And I thank God for those experiences, because those were the experiences that I was able to use for my own journey and cultivate, as it relates to my my journey as being an artist myself.
So talk a little bit more about some of your musical inspirations, because I know you said those three legends, getting a chance to work with them. I know they inspired you, but I know you had to have some soulful Motown roots. Speak to that and how you incorporate that in your music, because that's powerful. No, come on, let's talk about it.
Now, you know what, man? I was the only third grader listening to Stevie Wonder and Donny Hathaway. You know what I'm saying? Like all of my classmates, man, they grew up listening to hip hop, which was cool. You know what I'm saying? But I was always like the oddball because I grew up listening to Donnie and Stevie, and I was always kind of like that old soul. But man, Stevie Wonder and Donny Hathaway and Marvin Gaye are like my three muses. I consider them the muses, bro. I'm so inspired by everything that they do. I love Whitney Houston, as far as female singers. I love them. But here's what's funny, bro. When I was around 16, man, I was trying to get a little more edgy with my sound. So I was actually emulating Dino from H-Town, bro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Knocking the boots.
Yes, sir. Somebody rocking, knocking never. Don't play games with that. 90s hip hop, 90s music. That's our era. That's the golden era.
Yes, sir. That's the golden era of music, bro. I will go down in history saying that there is no era greater than the 90s era of music, bro. It just completely shifted the culture.
Yeah, that's real. So, Gene, come on, talk about it. This your last EP.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, talk about the inspiration behind it. The 6 tracks that you put out, they certified plus, man. So, speak to the inspiration behind each track.
I appreciate that, man. Well, so it was around the time of the pandemic, and my last record was starting to cycle out, and so I needed to start thinking about what I wanted to do for the next record, where I wanted to go lyrically, where I wanted to go stylistically, where I wanted to go creatively. And so I was like, man, I'm not hearing nothing. I don't have any kind of inspiration. And what's crazy is while I was sitting in the house, the whole world was sitting in the house, during the pandemic, I just started, kind of journaling, and I was saying to myself, let me just journal my entire life right now. And let me put that into the form of a CD or an EP, So like, for example, the song Beautiful that I do with India Irie on the EP, that's a song about how I feel about my wife, how I feel about love. It's another song that was written by Paco Walls of the Walls Group. And that song is called Commit. That song is about decisions, making your mind up, because sometimes, we can be all over the place. And, sometimes you just have to sit down, settle down and say, okay, I just need to focus. So that's what that song is talking about. The first song on the track that was written, the first song on the EP, that was written by B. Slade, it says, all right. So the opening lyrics of the song says, the first thing in the morning you complaining, but you say that you want to be happy, but you don't look happy. That was me, bro. Cause I went through bouts of depression, during that time. I was in the house. Calls weren't coming in. Work was slow. I didn't really know how I was going to provide for the family. All the money was going out. Didn't have anything really coming in. So I just started journaling that. So I wanted this EP, the name of the EP is called Introspection, and I wanted this particular EP to highlight my life. However, everything still has a God awareness, but it's not necessarily straight ahead gospel, and that's the reason I came up with the word introspection, mainly because my mom was a principal. So, I just like big vocabulary. I like using words that's going to make people say, yo, man, why in the world did he come up with that? But right. Introspection simply means self-reflection, and that's all it was. On this EP, it is me self-reflecting. The song, the one that you say sounds like the Sam Cooke song, is I Believe, and that song is dear to me because it's the last song that my mom heard before she died, bro. Yeah, and I didn't even know it at the time. My mom, unfortunately, she passed away due to complications of Parkinson's disease. And so when she was in her bedridden stage, I went to the hospital and I said, hey, Mom, I just finished this song called I Believe. So I took my phone out, I played it, I put it by her pillow. Now, at the time, she couldn't really talk, because the dementia had gotten so bad and everything, but she could kind of mumble a little bit. So I put the phone next to her ear, played the song, and Dre, I swore, bro, she literally just opened her eyes and she just started to weep. You know, it was almost as if she couldn't really articulate what she was saying, but she was displaying what she was feeling. So now I Believe has really kind of been dubbed as mom's song, you know. And when people hear it, I don't want people to feel a sense of death or a sense of heaviness, but if anything, I want people to feel hope, because on the other side of pain, there is hope, bro. So, you know, I Believe is a song about faith. It's a song about hope. So yeah, man, I mean, like every song on the EP is highlighting my current journey in the last year and a half.
That's good, and thank you for being transparent. And I love the song I Believe. I do believe it does. You paint a picture, you tell a story, but you also give the hope in that, and I think that's what we need. And we talk about it all. That we changed it, our tag from Christian hip hop to faith infused, because I think we need more faith centered music to point people back to Christ compared to being so religious. So I applaud you and give you your roses for doing what you do. Talk about bridging the gap. So you got a chance to work with India Arie. We talk about it all the time. We always pass so much judgment against, you know, mainstream hip hop, mainstream R&B, but you being able to work with her firsthand, talk about building that relationship, and I'm pretty sure you guys probably had some spiritual conversations in the midst of y'all making music. Yeah,
you know what, India. Honestly, I would say India is really like a sister to me now, bro. I've been working with her for the last 6-7 years, and you know, she has her belief system, I have my belief system, but however, we're able to come to the table and discuss those beliefs. You know, she's not trying to change me, I'm not necessarily trying to change her, but however, I do believe that for a lot of people, you're going to be the only Bible that people ever see. Sometimes you don't always have to go rambling off scriptures and preaching to nobody, but you just have to be the light. So here's the crazy part. She dubs my name as the pastor now. She dubs me as the pastor. It, like, even time, you know, because I still go out with her and I sing background, you know, when she does spot dates. And so when she's introducing the background singer, she'll be like, all right, yo, that's Gene, yo, that's our pastor. That's the pastor. You know what I'm saying? But that's endearing to me, because that says to me that in some small way, I'm still able to give some kind of an influence or some kind of an impact, you know, and I think that that's the way that we bridge the gap, is just be the light, man. You know, if you continue to be the light, then people are going to be drawn. You know, the Bible says, man, you lift Jesus up, man, he'll do the drawing. You know what I mean? So that's all you have to do, man. And that's how you bridge that gap. You do it by loving people. You do it by your lifestyle.
That's real. That fruit. Yeah, people want to see that fruit.
Yeah.
Everybody talk it. I'm with you on that. Talk about the state of gospel music. Where do you think we are now when you talk about the state of gospel music?
I would honestly, and man, let me give my disclaimer, man. This ain't no shade.
No. You ain't got no disclaimer. This is the Fixx. You can speak freely. I want you to speak freely.
I would like to see a little more diversity in our community. You know, I believe personally that the late 90s, early 2000s was the best time for gospel music, meaning that every genre was well represented, from quartet to choirs to traditional Sunday morning to praise and worship to contemporary gospel. You know, as far as the contemporary is concerned, man, we had Mary, we had Tone, we had Dietrich Haddon, you know, and then you had the Canton Spirituals, and then you had Lee Williams representing quartet, and then you had traditional vocalists like Dottie Peoples who were representing, and then you had your praise and worship artists like Judy McAllister and Darwin Hobbs, you know. So everybody was well represented, but I feel like we lost that diversity. You know, I feel like one particular genre has kind of dominated. And again, you know, that's no shade, because I believe that, and I'll just go ahead and say it, you know, the praise and worship genre, I believe that it's blessed a lot of people. I love praise and worship, you know, but however, if we're talking about community, I feel like everybody needs to be well represented. And I kind of feel like we lost that a little bit.
Listen, you ain't gonna get me to preaching, because you know I do Christian hip hop. So let's be very clear.
Yeah.
I constantly got to remind them as I walk in the room. Yes, I'm a part of the body too.
So check this. So check this out. Yeah, and man, forgive me for even leaving that out. Like even around that time, late 90s, early 2000s, man, you had Canton Jones, bro. You had Pedity. You had The Truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, You had cross movement, you know, so everybody was well represented. And I think that the reason why we've kind of lost that diversity is because of we've lost the opportunities. You know, people are going to gravitate towards what's more visible. You know, I believe that when Bobby Jones was on the air on television, I think that he was really the one that pushed the culture forward, and he showcased a lot of different styles of gospel music. We don't really have the diversity or the visibility anymore, you know, so I think that that's another reason why we've kind of gotten lost a little bit. But again, y'all, hey, this is just my opinion. You know what I mean? I love everybody. I ain't throwing no shade, y'all. So don't get in my DMs, you know, talking no junk to me, man.
Well, you can DM me. Y'all already know how I feel about it. So yeah, you ain't got to DM me because we need to continue to have this conversation. And to your point, absolutely, we need to be able to embrace and support. So the other thing is too as well, support. We have these concerts, we have these events, and people are not showing up like they need to. We need to start packing out these events, selling out these events to show the value to everybody. So we have the investors, we have more record labels, we have all the different entities we need to continue to do this thing, because it's still a business side of it too as well. Yes, we ministry driven, but it's a business side, and people want to invest money in something they feel they can make money off of. Let's be very clear. You signed to a major, so you understand. They're not going to just, Motown Gospel didn't just come after you because you didn't have the gift, and they didn't feel they could market you. They came after you. You had the gift, you had the talent, you have something we can market. Boom. Because that's the other thing we talk about. We need to make sonically good music. Make hits. A lot of artists are crying saying they're not getting a chance. They don't need a chance. Because you're not ready. So what's next for you, Gene, before I get you out of here?
Man, you know, I'm going to just put it in the atmosphere, bro. I would really like to jump on somebody's tour, whether it's a secular or a gospel tour. Now, I got a little taste of it earlier this year. Shout out to my boy, Jonathan McReynolds, man. He just did an incredible tour called the My Truth Tour. And so, you know, different cities that he went to, he was asking different artists to come and open up. So when he did the Texas run, he asked me to do the Houston and the Dallas dates. Man, it was just incredible. I love touring. A lot of people say, I don't like touring. I love touring, man. So I'm going to just put it out there, man. You know, that's what Gene Moore wants to do for the rest of the year and probably going into the new year of 2024. I'm trying to get on somebody's tour.
Listen, Gene, we appreciate you rocking with us, man. Tell the people how they can connect with you, follow you on all your social media platforms, as well as please introduce your I Believe track.
All right. You can follow me on Instagram at _Gene Moore. That's GeneMoore. Facebook, same thing. Dre, I ain't really got into the TikTok thing yet, though, man. So
you ain't TikToking?
I ain't TikToking.
You ain't doing your dances and stuff?
No, bro. No, man. You know
that's how you go viral. The kids say that's how you go viral. So you want to go viral?
I know,
Get
man.
on there and shuck and jive a little bit,
bro. The government trying to get rid of it, man. So you know that's why I'm a little.
So you up on the conspiracy theories? Huh?
Man.
Oh, I got to bring you back because
I'm a little skeptical. That's another conversation.
My wife put me onto it. Yeah, they watching us, huh?
They watching us, man. But yeah, you can reach me on social media. I spend a lot of time on Instagram. Just hit me up. And the name of my single right now is entitled I Believe, and I pray that it blesses you.
Keep it locked. You tuned into The Fixx. You know The Fixx is in.
Fruit that they speak, so tell me whose face do they see? Repeat, take offense, judge by the fruit from the tree. But if the fruit tastes like the streets, and money is the fruit that they seek, so tell me whose face do they seek? The Fixx is in.